Right, welcome to this Advanced Tactica for Primaris Space Marines. It's Intercessor squads. It's the standard sort of troop choice available for the Primaris Marines. As I've announced, I'm working on a Primaris Marine army, so it's going to be pure Primaris Marines. It's no regular Space Marine units at all. I thought it would be a good idea just to do that range of models justice. Thought, well, can I try and squeeze them into the Blood Angels? Put them into Imperial Fist, and it would mean dropping a load of regular Space Marine units. I thought, no, I think the best idea is to do a separate army. And I thought, well, if it's a separate army, maybe go for a different chapter. And so I've gone for Red Scorpion. Spent ages going through all of the different Space Marine chapters, even the Lost Legions as well, all of the unknown different chapters and so on. I thought about making up my own one as well, and I thought, well, I looked around, and then my favourite colour scheme was the Red Scorpions. So then I went on Forge World, found out they did a really nice transfer sheet, and then sort of looked at the way other people had painted them on the internet, and then worked on a colour scheme, practicing, and I'm really happy with how they come out. So that's the chapter that I'm going to go for. So you can expect a pure Primaris Marine Red Scorpions army, and then in this video the Intercessor Marines, just sort of a core choice. We're going to take a look at that unit in this video, chance to see the models up close as well, and then by the time you see this video, there should be a painting tutorial out for the Primaris Marines, where I show you from start to finish how to paint Primaris Marines. That'll be on the regular channel for everyone to see, so you can check that out. If you like the colour scheme that you see, then follow that video and it'll show you from start to finish how to paint them up in this colour scheme for Red Scorpions. So I'm going to zoom in now, take a closer look at the models here, sort of making the Advanced Tacticas like a showcase video as well, so you can zoom in and see the models for sort of painting reference and so on. So here's one of them here. This is the Marine from the actual painting tutorial. So that's how he's come out. There's the Red Scorpions symbol there just on the shoulder pad. Tactical marking is just there. And then for this squad, again, I was just copying artwork I found on the internet, one of the Forge World paintings, the squad number just on the knee pad. Other people said it should be there. I'm going to maybe just mix and match it between the different squads. So I do plan to have a number of squads of these in the final army. But this is one of the models from the Dark Imperium set that came out. So it's sort of a set pose for him. It looks really cool, just leaning forwards as he advances with his bolt rifle. Basing technique, show you how to do that in the video. There's also a separate technique for desert space, desert sort of terrain basing. That's on the regular channel as well. If you like the way that's come out, then you can follow that also. Still working on this squad, not quite finished yet. This one's completely done. And then this one's completely done as well. He's finished, different pose, like so. This one's done, just need to do the Red Scorpion transfer just there. Nice pose, that one. I think, let's have a look here. This one here is the first one I painted. So that's the experiment model. Just then you can see I've not really changed anything, very happy with how he came out. Just there, looking really good, like so. And then finally, this is one I'm still working on, it's the Sergeant. He's pretty much there, looking pretty good. Been working on the face. He's come out quite nice. And then solid white helmet there. I think I got that right. Now, I've had problems trying to find the right insignia for these. I think the white helmet for the Sergeant's correct, from what I can gather from the research I've done. Then I've gone for different colours for the other helmets, for like Lieutenants and for the Captain as well. We'll reveal that later on in other videos. Working on those at the moment, and then playing Advanced Tacticas for them as well. But that's the squad, a squad of 5, which seems small. But that can be to your advantage, as we'll discover next in the rules. So you'll see what I mean by that as we go along. I think everyone's in Space Marine mode still, and when they see models like that, they think, oh well, it's 5 wounds there, should be a small squad, easy to get rid of and destroy. But these are 2 wounds each. That's the equivalent here, really, of a full tactical squad of 10. So that could be an advantage for them. The opponent thinks, oh, it's just a 5-man squad, should be able to deal with them, no problem. Then finds it takes a lot to grind them down. There's 10 wounds to try and get rid of just there. So as a troops choice, I think they're excellent. But we'll take a look at them now in the rules with the new Space Marine Codex first of all. So under troops, there's a little rule actually here that we need to cover. Yeah, it's this rule here. Sons of the Primarchs here, Defenders of Humanity. If your army is battle forged, which obviously this army is going to be, all troops units, which is these, in Space Marines attachments gain this ability. Such unit within range of an objective marker, as specified in the mission, controls the objective marker, even if there are more enemy models within range of that objective marker. So it's the old objective secured is back, specifically for troops choices for battle forged armies. So that adds to the value of these. For moving up, sitting on top of objectives, clearing objectives, they're a very handy unit indeed. And that's part of the tactics I plan to use these for. I'm not expecting them to sweep units aside and to get stuck in the thick of the fighting, but to survive, manoeuvre, move up, and then clear pockets of resistance for objectives, and then sit on top of objectives and hold that position. I mean, 5 of these parked up, as I said earlier, that's 10 wounds for the opponent to try and get through. So 5-man squad, not too expensive, pretty durable as well. So that's part of the tactics for it. We'll illustrate that a bit later on with some in-game sort of scenarios of how you can use these Intercessor Marines. So Intercessor squad. So movement 6, so they're pretty quick compared to other infantry types. Movement 6, weapon skill and ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness 4, 2 wounds, which is really good for them, and then 2 attacks as well, basic, which is decent as well in close combat, and their leadership 7 to 3 up save. You get the sergeant there, pretty much free of charge. He gets an extra attack, which is 3 attacks, and leadership of 8 as well. So standard squad is that size there. It's 5 men, including the sergeant just there. You can include an additional 5, and then each model is armed with a bolt rifle, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades. So we'll get an idea on points cost here. So Intercessor squad's 20. So it's like a Space Marine is 13, so you pay an extra 7 points for an extra attack and extra wound. It's pretty good. And then you're looking for the bolt rifle, which is 0 points, bolt pistol 0, frag crack grenade 0. So it's a straight 20 points for each model. So I would say that's a squad of 10 to 200 points, which isn't too bad. But for morale purposes, they're pretty rock solid on morale because they have, and they shall know no fear, which I believe is a reroll for morale. So you've got the sergeant at leadership 8, remember, and then you can reroll failed morale tests for this unit. So they're hardly ever going to run away. It's very unlikely. And then to reduce that chance even more, I reckon I'm going to keep mine at squads of 5. Nice and flexible, and then good for morale as well. You could go for a squad of 10 and then do combat squads, but if you do 2 squads of 5, you get a sergeant for free, an extra sergeant. So I think he's got that better leadership, and then the extra attack. So I'd probably stick with the squads of 5. It's better. 2 squads of 5 is better than a squad of 10. So they should know no fear. Combat squads, which we've covered. Auxiliary grenade launcher. If a model is armed with an auxiliary grenade launcher, increase the range of any grenade weapons they have to 30 inches. So it doesn't come as standard. For every 5 models, one may take an auxiliary grenade launcher. So one of them has the grenade launcher just there. I've searched and searched for it in here. It's not there under ranged weapons, so I take it it's just a free upgrade. But it means that you can fire crack grenade instead of range 6, strength 6, AP 1, AP minus 1, and then D3 points of damage, which is decent enough. But the range is poor. But then you can increase that range to range 30. So you really need to remember that one of them is going to fire that, and that's a pretty decent shot coming from them. And auxiliary grenade launcher is 30 inches, so it's going to match the range of the bolt rifle. So bolt rifle then is range 30, it's rapid fire 1, so when you get within 15 inches you get 2 shots, strength 4, and then it's AP minus 1, which is really handy to have that minus 1 on there. So that's a decent enough sort of standard shooting weapon. So other than that, not that much amazing about them really. They're just a sort of standard unit for you to take for your army. Now you can go for here, all units, all models in this unit may replace the bolt rifle, auto bolt rifle, stalker bolt rifle. So auto bolt rifle is a point, so you do have to pay a bit extra for it. It drops the range down to 24. Assault 2, so yeah, you get the 2 shots at any range. Strength 4, but you lose the -1 on your AP, so I don't really think that weapon's worth it. One good side to it is you get your, you can move and then advance and then shoot. May see that as an advantage with those if you want a quicker moving squad that's running the whole time and shooting on the go. If you want to go for them, or for that option. The stalker bolt rifle is probably have to pay for that as well. Yeah, 2 points for this one. For that you'll get an increase in range, 36 instead of 30. It's heavy 1, so if you move you're going to be on -1 to hit. You're not going to get the rapid fire, you're going to get less shots. It is strength 4 and it's AP -2. Again, I probably wouldn't bother going for that one either, not really. So I'm going to stick, I reckon, with the bolt rifle. As standard, it's got a nice compromise between range, rate of firepower and damage. And then, remember, you get the auxiliary grenade launcher as well. The Intercessor Sergeant may take a power sword, which is a cheap upgrade, gives them close combat option. And it says here, you may take a power sword, so it doesn't necessarily replace his shooting weapon. So you could, like on the Sergeant here, could model a power sword just in a sheath there, and he could carry that, and then that'll remind you he's got the sword for combat and he can shoot as well. I believe there that that's the option, you can just take that as an addition. It doesn't cost too much and it gives him a decent weapon in combat, and it may well be worth it because it does get free attacks. So that's that. So an Intercessor squad then will be, I'm guessing, 120 points. No, it'll be, yeah, no, 5-man squad. If they're 20 points each, then that's 100 points. Not really paying out anything else, just going to see. No, if you keep them as bolt rifles, there's no extra. The grenade launcher's free of charge as well. So the other only upgrade you take is a power sword, and it's cheap to do that. You may well want to do that, give them some kind of combat ability there. Power sword's not too bad a weapon at all, and pretty cheap in points. Should be. Let's look. 4 points? Yeah, I'd take that. Very, very cheap. So you're looking at 100 points, really, for that squad. As I said, durable enough. You know, it's the same amount of wounds as a full tactical squad. Same amount of attacks as well, actually, or 2 attacks each as well. So, you know, again, not expect them to work wonders in a game, but expect them just to hang around, be durable, go for objectives, and then provide some supporting fire on the move. So sort of like a tactical squad, tactical, versatile unit. So we'll check them out now. I've got a scenario lined up here to give you an idea of the what I'm looking to do with these squads here. Alright, so scenario here, I'm going to try and clear these fire warriors off of an objective. Let's say they are holding an objective just here. So this comes a point in the game, it's infantry versus infantry, there's other heavy units taking each other on. These guys moving up and try and take on these fire warriors. The auxiliary grenade launcher, we'll go first with these. So we're going to fire one lot at long range, medium range, and then close them for combat, which is what I try and use them for. So grenade launcher's hit, it has wounded, and then no saves, D3 damage, just going to kill one of these. And then some bolt rifle rounds coming through. Freeze to wound, there's 1. And it's -1, so 5 up save, which you failed. That was enough, that was a 4, you needed a 5. So that's those gone. Fire warriors then, we'll let them fire back. Now this is where you should see the wounds helping out here. 4s to hit, 3s to wound, and 2 saves here, both saved, that's good. Then we'll move up to rapid fire range. Not ready for a charge yet, we'll just say rapid fire range. Now looking at, I reckon we'll just go 10 shots with this one without the grenade launcher. Just get the double shooting in. That is pretty poor actually, half of missed. Freeze to win it. Yep, and then some saves required. Failed, all of them needed 5s, so just chomping them away, cutting them down, it's a pretty good result. We'll say the Fire Warriors can fire back. 4s, bad round from them as well. Good wounds though. Saved all of them, excellent dice rolling. So we close in for another round of rapid fire. That AP1 has really helped out. There'd be about 3 of those left, 3 or 4 of those still alive. That AP -1 has really helped out. So freeze to hit, a little bit better. Freeze to wound, 5s to save. 3 more hacked down just there. Then we'll say we'll charge. In they go, let's do a little bit of Overwatch, missed. And then all of a sudden, in combat, that little 5-man squad, which again your opponent might think, oh it's just 5 Marines. There's 11 attacks there. Freeze to hit. Freeze to wound at strength 4. And then 4s to save. There it is, failed, and the squad's been wiped out. So those, I mean that's quite a shocking result really. That's a good result. Squad's untouched. And they've taken on a Fire Warrior squad just here and have prevailed with no damage at all. So their armour holding well, they've got those 2 wounds to absorb the damage, and then on the move they're laying down that blanket of firepower, they're closing in, and then against targets like that, pretty happy to charge in close combat as well. So I think that's where they're going to do well, is to take on sensible targets and to leave the other difficult targets to the more elite units in the Primaris Marines army. But that's sort of illustrating just sort of the core units that these are and the hard work that they can do, and just to be a presence on the table, difficult to deal with and remove. And again, they're a bit of an illusion. It's just a 5-man squad, but it's not. It's more powerful. They're more powerful than they appear. So, mate, that's the advanced tactica, just to illustrate how they can be used. Check out the painting tutorial for them on the regular channel if you like this colour scheme. Couple of bonuses to help those out is things like lieutenants there with rerolling 1s, nice HQs to move up with these to support them, and then rerolling hits and so on as well, and the benefits there with the captain as well for the Primaris Marines. And because of the durability of those, they're good as a screen to put your characters behind, granting your benefits, absorbing the damage, and then shielding these from the damage coming in as well. So don't forget to use your characters to interact with your Intercessor Marines as well. I'm going to get these painted up and they'll be for Advanced Tactica in future episodes. But here we've looked at Intercessor Primaris Space Marines, really happy with the new colour scheme, and not the most powerful unit, but definitely to bulk the army out, to add some toughness to it, and then for objective grabbing, I think these Marines are excellent. So there it is, that's the Advanced Tactica for the Primaris Marines. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. And by all means, leave your comments and feedback here, how good you think these are, if you've come up against them in games, if you use them in games as well. I know they're a new unit out really, but I'm sure many of you watching will be using these and probably have been doing quite well with them. But leave your comments and feedback in the comments section below.